Hi Shaily,
Yes, hi Kunak.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Designing, I would say, is the way we start, and interior styling is how we end it. Communication is the key. Big designer, and you're also going through the same struggles. Then it feels really nice and hard that okay, fine, maybe we also have some hope somewhere. I find your content more relatable.
हाय गाइस, वेलकम टू अनदर एपिसोड माय पॉडकास्ट। आज की हमारी गेस्ट है मिस शैली, जिन्होंने एक हम्बल प्रोजेक्ट से स्टार्ट किया विच वॉज हर ओन हाउस एंड शी वेंट ऑन टू ट्रांसफॉर्म द होम्स ऑफ मेनी। रांची में आर्किटेक्चर पढ़ने के बाद शी स्टार्टेड वर्किंग राइट आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग हर एजुकेशन इन 2003। इन्होंने काफ़ी फर्म्स के साथ काम किया एंड व्हेन शी फाउंड एनकरेजमेंट फ्रॉम पीपल शी ऑफिशियली एस्टैब्लिश्ड हर फर्म Eijya Designs in 2020 in Bangalore, and there was no looking back after that. So without making you wait any longer, let's start our conversation.
Welcome Shaily, welcome. We have Shaily from Eijya Designs with us. Eijya Designs operates in Bangalore and parts surrounding Bangalore.
Hi Kunak, nice to hear from you. Yeah, so basically in Bangalore right now, yes.
Okay, wonderful. So let's start. Give us some background about your firm. How did you start? How is the journey so far?
By education, I'm an architect. So I've done
Okay.
my architecture from Birla Institute of Technology in Ranchi. So I passed out in 2003, and then
Okay.
I had been practicing as an architect. But then, and we did a couple of stints in interiors as well. But then my first-hand experience with interiors happened when I actually did my own home, honest to be honest. And then I realized that in the industry, although there are a zillion interiors firms, there is a huge disconnect between the clients, what their expectations are, and the kind of services that are being provided. And I realized that almost everyone, from a carpenter to a certified professional, they all call themselves interior designers.
Yeah, glorified ones.
So yes, so that's the way when I struggled myself as a customer, that is how I realized that maybe this is the space that maybe we can get into and provide the help and reach out to people. So our growth has been very organic. We started and we registered as a firm in 2020. So we are very
Okay.
recent from post that COVID hit us. So it was a very big slump for almost 2 years. But then, by God's grace, clients have been reaching out and they've been really wonderful.
Okay. So tell us, which year did you pass out your college, and did you work for some time before starting your own?
Yes, yes. So I passed out in 2003. So I was doing practicing with different architectural firms, and then again I joined an interiors firm. So I was heading their practice as the principal interior designer. That was almost around the time where I did my own home. So that was the time. So it happened nearly close succession to each other. So there I was heading the entire firm as the principal. I was handling all their operations, first-hand client interactions, and leading a team, and getting all the work from scratch, end to end, everything. So yeah,
Okay.
that was how I got into it. And then a lot of people reached out to me saying that a lot of vendors also, a lot of clients also, maybe that ma'am, it's about time you start on your own. So I thought maybe gaining a little more experience firsthand would be better rather than getting. So I wasn't maybe mentally in that state at that point of time. But then gradually, yeah, as we spent more time, did a more projects, then I felt that yeah, maybe it is time to move on. So that is how.
Sure. So you worked for some time, then you started your own. Do you
Yes.
think if you were given a chance, would you want to go back and change something about
Probably
when did you start?
I mean, actually, even maybe 10 years before I started on my own, even then people had reached out to me, but I wasn't confident whether I'll be able to handle it better.
So it happened just in the right time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to change anything. I'm happy. I know I started a lot later. I did a lot of workshops and interiors and this and that. So more often than not, I would end up being the oldest person in the crowd, but that's fine. Yes, I was
But
okay
the
with.
most experienced one, perhaps.
Yeah, if you can call it that way, yes.
So tell us about the importance of mood boards and how are they different from 2Ds and 3Ds?
See, 2Ds and mood boards both are part of the whole design journey actually. So when we begin the designing process, we do not know what the expectations are from the client's end. So we build up mood boards trying to get the color theme in place, material swatches, what is the essence of the mood of the place that we are trying to build basically. So it helps in
Mm-hmm.
doing color selections, creating the feel of the place, right? Getting so basically, mood boards are a collection of pictures that we pick from the internet more often than not. Earlier, we would do physical samples also in mood boards, but these days it's mostly picture based only. So it's mostly happening online. So yeah, it helps the clients also understand their own requirements, because many a times when people come to us, they know they want something, but they're not really clear
Mm-hmm.
about what exactly it is that they have in mind. So it helps streamline their own thought process as well, and it helps
Mm-hmm.
also understand their requirements. So that really helps in the process. So once we are done with the mood boards and the clients like what the ideas that we are presenting and we understand their concepts as well, then we start building with the 2Ds and 3Ds gradually. So once we're then
Sure.
we do the 2D layouts, and then yeah, work out the different layouts, and 3Ds happen post that.
Okay.
After
Okay.
material selection and all that is done, then we build the final 3Ds and then get approval from the clients. And if there are any minor changes that we would like to do after that, that is the stage when we do it. And then we just send it across for production once everything has been approved.
At what point in the journey would you bring in the agreement or the sale? So you're meeting a new prospective client, and you are talking to them. They are discussing their ideas with you. You are discussing your plans with them. At what point in time in the journey would you bring in the
To
agreement, the
be
payment?
honest, the sooner you get the agreement into the picture, the better it is for you. The sooner you get all the documentation in place, because it is very important that you work out the agreement and don't do it yourself. Don't do any amount of research that you do online, Google. Please don't do the agreement yourself. Get in touch with a lawyer and let him
Mm,
do his part, because the amount of due
mm,
diligence that a lawyer can bring into it, you cannot do it. So let us
mm,
be a little more rigorous, be a little more professional. The time when you know and the clients know that yes, this is the time that we are signing up, you are taking a
mm,
token
mm.
amount or retainer fees that you call, and that's the stage when you sign the agreement and then move on. and as my
Okay.
lawyer says, do it on a stamp paper. Please don't do it just on a physical copy.
Oh,
It's
okay. Okay.
better to do it that way and then
Okay.
proceed.
Tell us how easy or how difficult it is to convince a client to sign an agreement on a stamp paper.
I
Stamp
know
paper. Mm,
their stamp paper and all that. That's a little reluctance is always there, but
mm.
yes, communication is the key. So yes, you
Yeah.
need to make your point clear that it is in best interest of both the parties. It's not that I
Mm,
myself am gaining anything, or we are not here to cheat anyone or anything. So it works
mm,
out in interest of both the parties. And in fact,
mm,
it's mostly in residential spaces only that you will see a little reluctance, because when you go
mm.
to commercial spaces and all, that's a norm, that's a
Agreement is a must.
yes.
Mm.
So no one will do get started with the process without signing the agreement. So
Yeah, I
yes,
think it's best to face some reluctance in the beginning
definitely.
than to face.
And when the
Mm,
clients reach out to us in the very first stage, no, we explain the entire process that this is how we
mm,
work. So this is the
mm.
stage. Till this much we do. We will get started with the design process itself after we have taken a small retainer fees, and we will sign an
Okay.
agreement together, and then we begin.
Yeah,
So
I think as long as there are terms that are favorable to both parties, and you explain them the need of such an agreement, they
yeah,
would
yeah.
understand.
Agreement will always cover. That's why I said you get in touch with a lawyer. So it is never one sided.
Mm,
It will always have both the parties covered into it, and all kinds of whatever problems, constraints, which whatever is taken care of. And then yeah, so people are mostly open about it. So
I
if
think
you
that's a very, very important point.
communicate well the essence behind the whole thing,
Mm,
then
yeah.
it just you can avoid a lot of unnecessary struggle that comes on later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think also what we have seen is that when you bring an agreement, people, I mean, there could be some reluctance in the beginning, but then they also realize that at least this party is serious about it. They are getting into an agreement and they want to do it the formal way, and they're not just sending something over WhatsApp and getting us started. So yeah, works out better eventually.
Anytime. And since you it's just a one time thing, once you prepare the entire format and everything, you have everything in place, it's just a matter of sending a formal mail, that's it.
Right, right.
Right, because the terms
Okay.
and conditions do not really change with the clients, it's only maybe the scope of
Hmm.
work that might change.
Yeah.
So when the entire process and structure, everything is in place, the clients are more than happy to understand the system and the way it is working.
People, when they get their apartments or villas or any other builder constructed spaces, they get to see these very boring doors. Could be veneer, could be coffees, browns, whatever. So, what kind of different treatments would you suggest on some these kind of doors to bring some life to them?
See, there are three main factors that we have to consider here before we change any kind of door treatment. So first and
Hmm.
foremost is your society allowing this? Because
Hmm.
unless you have permission to do that, we can't. A lot of societies do not allow any kind of changes to the common areas and door surface
Hmm.
treatment. All that comes into that. So many a times it is ruled out at the beginning stage itself. Then
Hmm.
we come to then again we have two types of doors. Many a
Hmm.
times apartments we have these flush doors which are with laminate finish. So there's only very limited options that we have in that case. And then the third category is when we have these solid wood or veneered doors, then painting and all is an option. So when we
Hmm.
have laminate doors, then painting doesn't really work. So if the client wants to do some molding or something on top of it, then we have to put a 6 board, and then on top of that we can do further beading or painting or whatever that needs to be done, surface finishing. And that, I mean, again depends on the budget of the clients as well. If they're willing to spend, they are wanting to go ahead with that, then we can replace the door and put something that goes well with the rest of the design as well. And
Sure.
current trends, if you go by, then the cheapest way out is changing the hardware and maybe using peel off wallpaper that we stick on
Hmm.
wallpaper that we get these days. So
Okay.
that's the easiest way out. So you just add some
Sure.
stick on wallpaper that works for renter friendly apartments as well. I mean, for renters also works great.
My next one is, how is interior styling different from interior designing?
Okay. That's a very good question, to be honest, because people often confuse interiors, interior styling, interior decorating is also there.
Hmm.
So, yes, so interior designing, I would say, is the way we start, and interior styling is how we end it. So,
Okay.
just putting it
That's a
in a
good way
very
to put it. Hmm.
small, easy to understand way. So when we are
Hmm.
doing interior designing, basically we look at the whole space and we envisage the whole space, the way it comes together, the walls, the lights, the space, all fixed furniture, paneling, everything that is happening inside the space. And then the way the interior stylers will enhance it is with soft furnishing, movable furniture at
Hmm.
times, and accents, artifacts, plants,
Hmm.
decor. So yes, we envisage the place. Interior styling will add the warmth and essence and make it more homely. So yes, both
Hmm.
go hand in hand. As designers, we also tend to do the styling many a times. Then there are cases when the clients want to do
Want to
it
do it on their own.
on their own. Yes, so that is also
Okay.
there.
Okay. My next one is, give us some balcony decor ideas.
Balcony decor. When we talk of balconies, the first thing that comes to mind is plants. So yes,
Hmm.
plants are the easiest and most best way to decorate your balconies. But then there are a lot of people who are not really into plants. So
Hmm.
artificial plants is a good option for them. Putting some nice seating in the balconies works really well, and accent lighting. We get these beautiful decorative lights, and even plug and play lights are there, which can instantly uplift the mood of a space. So it
Hmm.
works well. And if you really want to go deep into it, then changing the flooring into wooden deck flooring or some colorful pattern tiles really
Hmm.
changes the whole look of a space. So yes, depending on the kind of mood or the kind of investment that is required, the timelines. So based on that, yes, we can pick and choose the kind of effect that we want to create in a balcony.
Sure. My next one would be, what's your favorite interior designing theme?
Theme, yeah, I know you've shared a couple of themes with me, but
Anything that you want to pick up? I mean, not necessarily from those, but anything.
No. We do a lot of contemporary themes. So people reach out to us with contemporary and minimal in mind. But I'm a really color loving person, so I'm looking forward to someone who would come and say, "I want to do a home in Art Deco style." I'm a really big time uh,
Okay.
old school kind of a way. So yes, that is something I've not yet done. I'm really open to it and looking forward to it. That maybe someday, yes, we do
Sure.
something blingy and Art Deco. We're seeing a lot of Art Deco in terms of restaurant interiors and all, but not
Hmm.
really much in residential spaces. So yes,
Sure.
that's
But you
something.
do both? You do residential, commercial, both, or are you only doing residential at
Right
this
now, we
point?
are mostly into residences only, but yeah, we are open to the idea of doing commercial as well. There are a couple of projects lined up. So, yes, keeping our fingers crossed as of now.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
She spoke about a lot of technicalities and cleared the air around questions that a lot of budding interior designers seek answers to. I hope this video helped you learn something new today. Do not forget to like and share the video and subscribe to this channel. You can also check out our Instagram handle for more catchy content. Bye.